How do you know when your mix is finished? Let's dive straight in. Route one for me is always, does a track make me feel? Is it evoking some emotion? If it's making me feel something, then I know that I'm definitely on the right lines to getting this mix where it needs to be and getting the mix finished. If you want something a little bit more scientific than that, then think about listening through the mix from start to finish. Does anything jump out as sounding wrong, not in the right place, too high, too low in the mix? If it does, make a note of it as you listen through the track. When you've finished, go back and simply address these points one by one. I make the point of making a note because it's so easy towards the end of a mix when you're feeling tired to kind of sleepwalk through it and not actually address the problems and get the work done. So get a notebook out, jot down everything that feels not quite right and address them. Another thing that's really going to help you realize whether your mix is ready to be exported for mastering is by referencing to other material. Of course, you can choose multiple tracks, but try to stick to the similar genre and also a similar instrumentation too. And don't forget to volume match so you can make an accurate decision. Running your mix through plugins like iZotope, Ozone and LANDR's mastering plugin can help you hear what the end result's going to sound like and also where your mix might be falling short. Of course, listening in different environments can also be incredibly useful too. Don't just rely on your one set of studio speakers. If you've got a set of headphones, check the mix on there. Checking on mono speakers can be a big help. Use the Car Test. There's a great free plugin too called Car Test that's well worth checking out. As many different environments as possible is going to help to check that your mix is going to translate well in the real world. So I hope all of that's helpful. I want to share with you now though a tried and tested method which will demonstrate to you when you've reached your best mix every single time. Let's dive into the DAW.
So when you feel like you've done all you can do and you're happy with your mix, you can export that mix down and export it as a WAV. I'm exporting it 24-bit and 48 kilohertz, but what I'm getting at is don't export it as an MP3, export it at the quality that you would be exporting if that was going to be your absolute final mix. So export that, drop it onto your desktop, and then head back up here and create a save as. And let's call that mix 1. So now you've got two things. You've got a high quality mix down, which you put onto your desktop, and you've got a mix 1 save as that you can go back to. So now's the time to go and take a break, even come back to this the next day or have a short break, have a cup of tea, go for a walk, whatever floats your boat. But then when you come back fresh to the mix, have a listen through the mix, make some notes as I mentioned earlier in the video, and then address those things in the mix. You know, that may take you 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes. At the point then when you feel you've done everything in that fresh list, compare where you've got to with the mix with that mix down that you've dropped on the desktop. Now, if you prefer the sound of the mix down that you've got on the desktop, then you know that's the very best that you can do. Go back to that save as, that mix 1, open it up, and that's the best you can do. Stick with it, go with it, and move forward. But if you feel like the new mix with the revisions is sounding better, export it again as a brand new WAV file, stick it on the desktop, call that mix 2, create a save as mix 2, and maybe take another break and come back and make a few more notes. Now if you work on it for another 10 or 15 minutes and you've made a few changes, come back and repeat that process. When you get to the point that the new mix isn't sounding as good as the previous mix, then you know that the previous mix is the best you can do, and that's the one to keep. That's a great method to help you know when you've reached your full mix potential. I've got a free 7 steps mix method guide to help you mixing from your home studio. It's free, you can grab it. The link is below this video. I've also got a whole bunch of home studio production and mix courses. I'm going to give you 10% off those right now with coupon code YouTube10. The link for those two is below this video. Of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. Most importantly, go and have yourself a great day.